And when I say Gen Zs do not deserve grace, I say that on the basis that they do not want to be taught how to do things the right way. They think that they are the repository of all knowledge and they have to do things the way it suits them. They are driven by sensationalism and their feelings more than they are driven by logic.
Because I know of millennials who also behave very childish.
You can't work and you have nothing to show. You can't live and you have nothing to show. So the money comes into, so I'll go for money.
Which generation was the first to normalize working remotely as a mainstream?
Millennium.
Gen X.
You got it.
Oh, I said millennium.
Gen X, they cancel their BC 2 times. Gen X.
No, but this one was past 2.
The next one is it's giving.
Gen Z.
What does it mean?
Yeah, I can't. Gen Z. No, let's take that one again. I'll answer that.
Hi everyone, welcome to Hubtel podcast. My name is Sharon and I'll be your host for today. So today we're going to be talking about how to bridge the generational gap at work. Now, every workplace has people of different ages, different characteristics, how they act, and you'd know that every generation has a particular way in which they act. Gen Zs are known for acting in a particular way, millennials are known for acting in a particular way. So today we're going to be unpacking everything, digesting it, breaking it down to the very littlest minute detail, and I'm really excited. And here with me to talk about this topic today are my panelists, my amazing panelists who are going to be giving you nothing but the best tea. So I'll allow them to introduce themselves, starting with...
Hi, my name is Abiku.
Hi, my name is Gloria.
My name is Alex.
Isaac here.
Okay.
Sharon, you see I didn't give the millennial pause. I just flew.
You've done well. Okay, so my panelists are from different generations, and I think that I would allow them to mention the generations that they are from. So, Abiku, which generation are you representing today?
I am a proud millennial.
Okay.
I'm an older Gen Z.
Okay. So do you classify yourself, right?
Older than Gen Z.
They call themselves Zillennials.
Okay.
Zillennials.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what they call
Millennials kind
themselves.
of thing.
Yeah.
Me, don't let my cargo pants.
Identity crisis. Identity
I'm a
crisis,
millennial.
or they are friends.
Right?
Then.
Oh, no.
Identity crisis.
Not necessarily identity crisis, but
They
it's
should
just,
draw a line.
I understand,
Yeah.
but I also get them because sometimes their age or their year group, the year in which we were born, puts them in that category of a Gen Z. But their mindsets, right? Did you get it?
I get it.
Yes,
So they are the
when
brain.
is it on the borderline?
Exactly.
Sometimes you find out you are in between two generations.
True.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're Zillennial.
Yeah, sort of.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, and
Yeah.
obviously I'm Gen X.
Gen X.
Very, very obvious.
Okay, so I'm with Abiku, a
Okay.
proud millennial.
Millennial.
Thank you very much.
What's there to be proud about?
I'm so
Why
shocked.
do you say
We'll tell
you're
you about
proud?
it.
Why?
We'll tell you
Yeah,
about
when we
it.
go into it, you see that it's
Okay.
rightly so. Yeah. So
We are
We're
you should
sorry,
get it now.
we are the best generation.
Yeah.
We'll tell
Sorry,
you why.
oh, sorry. Okay, and I am going to represent the ever famous Gen Zs. That was controversial, but I don't think we deserve that much bad PR, but we'll unpack that later. So let's get into it. First, we'll start off with a little icebreaker just to be able to, warm ourselves up for what's coming. So we'll start with would you rather questions. So I'd ask you a question. Would you rather A or B? And you tell us why, what you choose and why. So the first one is, would you rather document every moment of your life on social media or keep your memories private and personal, like photo albums?
Private and personal.
Private and personal. Why?
Yeah. Just what I will do naturally. So it has nothing to do with my generation, but I like to go private and personal. That's it.
Okay, I'll pick you.
Yeah, I agree with. I would go with private and personal as well. For me, it's more of who I am, like my personality traits.
Yeah.
So I'd rather keep. If I travel, I'd rather take pictures, create a photo book, and then keep them on my coffee table. So you come to my house, you visit me, you look at it, right? It's a way of striking that conversation. Because I like to create personality in my house.
Yeah.
Right? So when you come and get things to see, people just see things in public and they form their own impression.
Yeah, I feel you.
I just like to stay very private.
Granted. What about you?
Okay, I also think I would like to stay private.
Hey, so if everybody stay private, who give us social media content?
Okay. I'm guessing.
However, I have a lot of pictures on social media.
Oh, really?
Mainly because of Facebook. When Facebook came, it was a revolutionary thing. So, it was natural to join so that you can share the pictures with your friends. Yeah, not necessarily with everybody. Yeah, so back then it was okay, but now I wouldn't be putting all my pictures out there.
Are you on Instagram?
No, I'm not. I'm not a pictures person. I'm mainly on X.
But what
On
changed
X,
though?
okay.
What changed? You used to put your pictures on Facebook and then now you stopped. What changed?
I think Facebook got boring.
I
Right?
think let me chime in. I think I was going to let him finish and then I'll come in. I think the purpose of social media has changed drastically over the years.
Tell us.
So now people don't post on social media to connect with their friends. People post on social media for other reasons. Some of them to set trap. Some of them.
Hey, set trap.
The women setting
As a date,
the men to everybody settings. So I think I would rationalize it from that angle to say that's why. Because for me, I also used to post a lot on social media, and I realized that people stopped checking up on you because they thought they saw your photo on social media.
You're fine.
Yeah.
Right. If you don't see me, you'd be forced to check up on me. Right.
Real.
I love intimate moments, so that's where I would rationalize it from.
Okay.
Yeah, so for
Valid.
me, I think my answer should be obvious, not to bring any doubt to my function as an information security manager. So I would go private, but there's always a line where you want to share some memories with some people, but drawing a particular line to show that this, if I show it, it shouldn't cause any harm or so. But obvious private, but you can't say you wouldn't share.
Yeah,
throughout your lifetime.
You drop some.
And
So
as you were saying, some settings go flow, then you just
you are still around.
You also forget WhatsApp. If it WhatsApp has,
WhatsApp
status and all
where,
at least you have to let people know you to your day.
Exactly.
If not, the Gen Zs would just be.
I think that for me, I'm in the middle. I like to.
You are not in the middle.
No, it's true. I have an active social media, but then I feel like sometimes social media gets a lot. So I take breaks where I have seasons where I don't post anything at all. Then I have seasons where I'm like a content creator. I'm posting back
Are you sure
back
those
to
breaks
back
are
to
not
back.
influenced sometimes if your heart is not?
Hey.
It can be influenced. I just so some of the breaks may be like
Also say it.
Maybe
Please,
maybe your heart condition is not in the right mood to post.
My heart
yet.
doesn't even remember what heartbreak is.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sure.
no, it's not that. I
But
just
a
feel
proper
like,
break.
yeah, like
Okay,
a proper
okay.
break. Like right now, my social media is not active. I've not posted in a while.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think I'm in the middle. Sometimes I'm a content creator. Sometimes I'm a monk on social media.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll agree.
Yeah. At least for now.
Okay, so the next one is: would you rather have a job with no work-life balance but great pay, or low pay with the best work-life balance?
I think work-life balance is overrated.
Really?
Yeah.
Unpack that a little for us, just a little. Yeah.
Without work,
Uh-huh.
right? I say this. And for me, maybe I'm a little biased because I get to work from home, right? Maybe if I had to commute to work every day, sit in traffic, I would want to unplug from work, right?
Yeah.
But I have the luxury of working from home. So, well, I won't say certain things on record, but I have the luxury of working from home. And so when I think about it, it's good for me. You have times where you might not be in a meeting. There are times you are in a meeting back to back to back to back. There are times you are not necessarily in a meeting, right? That 1 hour, work-life balance. That 1 hour, that's work-life balance.
Yeah.
If you're not working, the things that you enjoy in life, you won't be able to afford them,
Real.
right? I like to drink wine. If I'm not working, I won't be able to afford a bottle of wine.
Okay.
And it's work-life balance for
fancy.
me.
Okay.
At the end of the
Yeah.
week, at the end of the long week, I pop open a bottle of wine. I'm chilling somewhere in my house, in my corner. It's work-life balance for me. So for me, I think when people talk about work-life balance, they are talking about after 9, after 5, don't call me. I don't want to do anything. You know, it's a bit exaggerated and overrated for me. But if you can within, and again, I'm speaking from a biased point of view, if you're able to manage your time properly, you would be able to, and please, my friends, don't come for me. People at Hubtel, don't come for me. I understand that sometimes things can get stressful. I'm speaking for a friend, right? Sometimes it's not really that we are working from home.
A friend who looks like you.
No, not necessarily. That friend is short.
Right.
But it's not every day that you are necessarily working from home, right?
Okay.
Sometimes you can go and sit at a cafe bar, like Vida Cafe or something. You're working. It's work-life balance, right? You are seeing nice things pass around. It's releasing your stress. Do you get it? So when I look at work-life, so to answer your question, high-paying, no work-life balance, I'll take that. High-paying, no work-life balance.
Okay.
Yeah,
You go
in
for
the
the
context
money.
of what we know as work-life balance,
Right.
I'd rather take high-pay, no work balance.
Right.
Call me at 10 o'clock if you are paying me 100,000. Call me at 10 p.m. I will answer your call.
Yeah, I feel you,
I
Alex.
think I think I'll go the same with him. You know, I think the work-life balance. Sometimes we should look at it in terms of where we are, the part of the world that we are. You know, where jobs are not that easily available. You understand me? Where you are places where you can easily get a job. Sometimes it's easy for you to push, you know, this, if I should call it, agenda. Because if you find yourself for a period not having a job, so now you have
You won't even have the peace of mind
you
to
have a lot of
enjoy the
time.
work-life balance.
You understand me? You have a lot of time.
Mm.
So the point I'm trying to make is that when you're in an environment where you can easily find another one, then you can perhaps based on it and say, okay, I have a job.
Yeah.
They say I should work after 5. I don't want it. I'm leaving.
For me,
But
We have options.
Yeah, but
you mean,
exactly.
Yeah.
But when you
Yeah.
understand that is that money
that
that sustains you, then works comes first.
Okay.
for
And the
me,
money, okay.
for me, it would always be give me the work and the money, because I can always navigate my way through it. There are leaves, there are other things I can take. I would prefer to work, and then at the end of the year or before the year ends, just take my leave and then go. At the end of the day, the money is what is funding my lifestyle.
Thank you.
So I think it's also age dependent, because if you're in your early 20s, late 20s, early 30s, you have the opportunity to do all of that. But if you are in your late 40s, late 50s, and you're still working, you would rather choose the low-paying job and then your peace of mind, because your health also comes first, right? So I think,
But
for-
arguably, that is where responsibilities also become high.
yeah,
And you may need to get
Yeah,
more
exactly.
money.
Yeah.
Like,
so it would mean that you would have already worked your way.
that is okay. That
Yes.
is if you had a right start.
Yeah, exactly. You are assuming
Because
by
Okay.
that time.
obviously, some people are
Okay.
beginning at 40,
Yeah.
and they now have to
Yeah.
grab all the money they haven't gotten to get it
and
right.
all
So,
of that.
but for me, the
So,
perspective I bring to it is work is becoming part of life, and the
mhm.
balance is the money. You see, so money is the
Yeah.
because
True,
You're right.
yeah,
true.
because you can't work and you have nothing to show. You can't
Mm.
live and you have nothing to show. So
Exactly.
the money comes into. So I'll go for money. Big pay. You call me, we will talk. And
Talk-
now
call
for
us.
the
Call me
variation
and
of
wake up.
work from home and getting some flexibility,
Yeah.
I think you should get a good money
Yeah,
for
yeah,
what
yeah,
you do.
yeah.
I
Exactly.
think so.
I just want to quickly chip in
Mhm.
that you see, you
Mm.
have people going to Europe and things and working around the clock, finishing one,
Our
one-
basis going,
Mm.
moving, hopping from one
Exactly.
to the other.
And I mean, they are
Okay.
the place where people are championing work-life balance.
Yeah, it shouldn't also
When they realize
send
that-
a signal like we are overrating money, but we have all come to accept that. In fact, it has become the the balance, as I was saying,
Mm.
because in any case, you would have to get that money to. We are not saying, as you wanted to say, don't love it too much or don't, but as you work, you must be reasonably be compensated or
Exactly.
rewarded.
Right.
Yeah.
That is so
Right.
that you have something to show that after the course have been on and all those
This is the
things,
result of
there's
it,
something coming out of
And
it.
I know
yeah.
you said it's arguable.
Yeah.
I'll just say this to end it, that you don't necessarily have to love your job, but you need to appreciate
Yeah.
the life your job gives you,
Sure.
right?
Sure.
So you don't have to love your job.
And the part
Mhm.
it plays in your life.
Exactly,
Yeah.
right? But you need to appreciate the life that it gives you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's with
I'll
us.
take
yeah.
that. I'll take that.
Okay,
Yeah.
so let's move into the main discussion, the actual tea, why we're here
Mhm.
today. So I'll start with the Gen X, right? What are the biggest misconceptions that people have about your generation in the workplace?
I think people believe we are resistant to change, that we are slow to change. And also, I think that people believe that we don't like teamwork. Like we like lone wolf kind of thing. We like doing things all by ourselves. Yeah, so those are what I have noticed. But of course, I'll tell you it's not true. Yeah, and I'll start with wanting to work alone. I mean, what I've noticed is that, especially when I've joined here, I noticed that there are several times where 2-3 people will be on teams trying to solve a problem together,
Right.
which is a good thing. But sometimes, I think it's a waste of time.
Right.
Yeah, because sometimes it takes unduly too long. Okay. Sometimes it's something that if you were to give one person, they could do it within a short time, and you could be online for like 3 hours. Okay, so we like working in teams, but we would like it to be, efficient, right? Efficient, yeah, that is it.
Right.
Yeah, and the other thing about resistance to change, I think the key thing sometimes is how the change is done. Right. Sometimes you want things to be well thought through, to be given enough information about, but then in today's world, maybe you don't get that. I mean, change just comes like this. Right. So we are adapting.
Okay.
But you haven't heard that sometimes you become bully because you think you are the X in the building. You try to assume all wisdom and just to try everybody to fall a line. Like, as you are saying, we're on a call, we want to brainstorm to see, but this big man wants to say that, Charlie, what are these small boys saying? Let me go and sit down and think about it. How do you take that?
Well, you're right. With that the Gen X, way, of course, sometimes the temptation comes, and it's really because of where we are coming from. Okay, we are coming from a place where the older people are the ones who make the laws, and you obey before complain.
Sure. Especially in our context. as
Exactly,
African.
exactly, and especially the time that we're growing up. Coming from the post-colonial period where we had been given regiment, our parents had been taken through some kind of regiment. Yeah, so
Discipline,
it got passed on to us. Okay, so there's that thing that you want to say, okay, I'm the oldest one, let's do it this way, and that is it. But of course, you need to adapt.
Okay.
Yeah, you need to adapt. So,
But I have a question for your generation though. Do you guys, I feel like a lot of times you'd find yourself as the oldest in the room, like in very modern workspaces. Like you'd find yourself as the oldest in the room. So when you find yourself in such an environment, do you often feel like the other generations have to respect you and like I'm the oldest, you have to respect me, say please, say sorry, those kind of things? Do you feel that way?
well, let me start by saying that I have not always been the oldest in the room.
Right. Okay.
I just noticed it lately.
I
I just noticed, I noticed it at church when I realized that, hey, Master, I'm about the oldest when we do the men meeting and stuff like that. Yeah, so it's there. And I think as somebody older, I think this one may not be peculiar to Gen X. I think that when you are an older person with younger people, there is a natural, expectation that you will be accorded a certain level of respect. Not to the extent of like saying please and those things, but at least you expect that when people are talking to you, they will talk in a certain way, right? Yes.
Okay.
But however,
I'm interested.
Yeah.
When you say in a certain way, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Because you see, what I find is, and I'll come to Gen Zs. I have a lot to say about Gen Zs, but I find Gen Zs to be very assertive. So a Gen Zer might not necessarily say please. They will just go straight to the point and say what they have to say, or ask you the question they have to ask you. But because they were being assertive about it, let me not say our, because I'm relatively younger, but because of your orientation, you would think that because they didn't speak in a certain tone, in a certain humble tone,
they are
being disrespectful. They might not have said anything disrespectful per se, but because they were being in their bit of being assertive, speaking straight to the point, you'd say, "Hey, this girl, why are you speaking to me in a disrespectful tone?" So that's my question. How are you able to navigate that?
I think that's very difficult. I have an experience recently. There's this young Gen Z guy that I was helping apply to the university. Okay. The mommy called me. I was up. Now there was some information he wanted, and I just sent WhatsApp. Give me the.
Give me the.
Send me the quarter. I was shocked. I was shocked. So, what I was thinking, and I told my wife, I said, "This is your friend. They've not trained the boy well. They've not trained the boy well." And I held that view, right? But I think as part of preparing for this program, I have actually started seeing things from the other side. But the thing is, if you don't have that education, I mean, that is how you would look at it.
Yeah, very correct. Very correct.
I feel.
Yeah.
Very cool. What about you? Misconceptions about your generation?
I was hoping you go to Isaac.
Okay, then I'll go to Isaac.
Okay, so one minute I got to know that they're saying millennials don't like saving money.
Hey, really?
Yeah.
I thought that was for me.
Yes.
I've never heard that about
that's what I got
millennials.
to know, and probably so because they think they are in their prime generation.
Really?
They think so because you see, even Gen Zs they are riding on our sort of.
I feel like we should come to that. You put
Hold
it
on,
too
no,
much PR.
you are rushing.
No.
Relax.
It's
No,
always
we'll
you
get
feel
there.
like we are riding on
But
your and you want for us
their
to like.
obsession about internet,
We walked for
social
them to
media,
run,
Like, this
but
is
they
why I
don't-
don't
Please go ahead.
started from our
Mhm,
83. Internet started coming. We have been using it,
mhm.
and they have just come and they are saying, "Oh, we've hooked on to it." So that misconception or myth about millennials not saving money was so intriguing to me because maybe at the time they think they have a lot to spend on technology and do other things, get new things, because inventions, new things was within that generation. So you want to put money to get something, the highest laptop, the big.
Can I
OS and
say
all those
something
things. So,
though?
Yeah.
Like all of these things are just clues. They are not absolute.
yeah.
Right.
So
Obviously.
like you can pick 10 Gen Zs and then maybe 8 will behave the exact way you think
Yeah,
they
there
will
are
behave. And then
always
there are some
deviations,
other
yeah.
people who are just very strict, very mannered, very disciplined.
There are always
And all of
very
that.
normal.
In fact, you can.
Wow, is that very normal?
Very normal.
Yeah. Because you can see people. It's sometimes because of the background of where you are coming from. Some research also see the family background also.
I also think it's personality based, because if you are somebody who likes your work a certain type of way, whether you're Gen Z or millennial, you go by the books. Like you go by what you feel comfortable doing. So all of these stereotypes, they are just clues. They are not absolute.
Yeah, definitely.
And again, I have another question, which is all these misconceptions we have about Gen Zs, are they really like that, or it is just them being youthful? Because if you go back to the time of Socrates, I'm not that old, please. But if you go back to that time, when you check some of his writings, you would see that he consistently mentioned that the youth at that time, the youth are disrespectful, they are lazy, they do not like to work.
Yeah, the point is that we may brag about our generations, but you see that always the older generation would want to see something with the lower generation.
So it's that's my argument right now. Is it that Gen Zs are just being youthful, or is exactly who they are?
No, but
in the sense that
they are just flowing with whatever happens to every generation. So like the way X will see millennials to be some way,
exactly,
millennials will also see Gen Zs to be some
exactly,
way.
Because if a Gen Z who is now like 28, or let me just say 27, if that Gen Z clocks 35, the behavior will be different.
Not necessarily.
Are you sure?
Are you sure? Unpack that.
There are certain things you carry on through, right? So I'll give you an example. So
doesn't every generation have that one person who carries something through? Because I know of millennials who also behave very childish.
You know, when I was talking, when I was talking.
No, but you don't mean that Gen Zs are childish.
They are not necessarily.
They are childlike. Let me use the word childlike.
Let me just land this point, and I want to piggyback on what Isaac has said earlier, but I just want to land this point back. When I was talking earlier, when I was addressing, I said that you realize I didn't use the millennial pause. If you're on social media a lot and you watch, I tend to kind of analyze content a lot. You look at the older generation, not the Gen Zs, not the 90 years and older. When they pick up a phone to record, there is a 1 second, between 1 to 3 second pause to check and make sure that everything is copacetic before they see what they have to say. That is millennial pause. And it is prevalent with a lot of millennial content creators. A lot of them. Okay. Right? And this girl, I think Jola or something, she's on I Said What I Said podcast.
Yeah, Jola.
Jola, good. Yeah. She actually amplifies it. So I'm just saying that there are certain traits that because of the era you were born in, you tend to carry on through. I agree with most of the things that you have said, that all of these things are not absolutes. They are clues. But there are also certain traits that you look at the person and immediately you get to the Aqua Gen Z.
And do you know why? Do you know why it's different for them? Do you know why it's different for them? Because of internet and technology.
Yeah, so it's amplified. But that is the time they came.
Exactly. So
they have to enjoy it.
This is my argument. My argument is that if we had internet and then technology during the time of Gen X, they would have probably behaved the same way.
But they didn't have. So now you
don't have the fire.
Yeah, so
that's what makes it different.
Yeah. Right.
And make them unique.
It's nobody's fault.
Yeah, it's not their fault.
I'm not saying it's anybody's voice. I'm not saying it's anybody's fault.
But you see, as we're saying, stereotypes and all this tagging runs through all the generations. Yeah. So I see it to be a mixture of getting some benefit and some misfortunes, if we can call, during
our parents will say that, our parents who are like 60, 70, they'll say that, hey, but when I looked at,
when you go back to see their Labadi Beach,
exactly what I'm talking about.
In the 70s, there was this ad, Soloku. When you watch those Soloku, they were chilling back in the because and they'll come and tell us that we are collaborating.
That's exactly what I'm trying to say.
So if you actually agree with you,
that's exactly what I'm trying to say, because when you date it back to back then, let's say Gen X, back let's say 30 years ago, 50 years ago, they were not using Teams. He's working here in Hubtel.
He has to adapt.
He's using, he's adapting. He's using Teams. Maybe some other person
So we
is
have to
using
adopt
Slack.
him in one of the
It's the same
current
thing. He's
generations.
not behaving like how the typical Gen
Yeah,
X would
yeah,
have
yeah,
behaved
Sure,
30 years
sure.
ago. So technology just changed everything.
Yeah, because
that's my argument.
Yeah, I get that
Yeah.
sense because sometimes with my background, with a religious background, you would see some older women in the church
Mhm.
admonishing some young girls. You are young and you are. But if you
Yeah.
critically look at their age between themselves and their firstborns, you may see that they even started 17, 16.
Of course.
But there was.
But not on an immoral ground.
Yeah, yes.
They were legally
But some of
married.
them too did things
Of course.
during that time.
But you see,
So
for
there will
them,
always
what
be
prevented
that-
them was they grew up in an evangelistic era where
Apostle. Yeah.
yeah, but every preaching was you are going to hell.
Yeah, but
You are going
every
to hell.
generation will have its own
Exactly.
immoral acts,
Yes.
good acts.
Mhm.
But what I'm saying is that you must take all.
Mhm.
You see, so the Gen
But I think
Z's
we are looking out for- we are looking
amplification
out for
is not
peculiarities.
because somebody
Yes.
has deliberately tagged them or putting it on them. They have just come to meet that
What
era
I am
and
just
it's amplified.
saying in essence is we should extend some type of grace to them
Right.
because
they just
of
enjoy grace.
Gen Z,
Right.
Gen,
Yeah,
Zs
well,
don't,
I agree.
Gen Zs don't deserve grace.
why?
Grace abounds
Now,
everywhere.
now, now,
You know, I
Yeah.
feel like that feeds into the assertiveness that she was talking about that we have. A millennial, what she was trying to say is that a Gen Z who can prove the results of their work
Mhm.
in whatever period of time would walk up to their manager and tell them that, oh, hi, I've been doing this and this and that, right? So what are the results of the work that I've been doing? As opposed to a millennial who would rather just keep quiet and go with the flow and, would keep quiet for a long
By the way,
time.
who said Gen Z millennials keep quiet and go with the flow for a long
I
time?
mean, you guys are more likely to be conventional than
We are
us.
not more likely to be conventional.
Yes, you
We
are.
understand the right balance between what the Gen X's think and what you think.
And we give
Okay.
attention to procedure.
So exactly,
And
because
processes,
we
you
pay
see,
attention
uh-huh.
And
to
if the
procedure and
processes are not
processes,
working-
you think that
Uh,
millennials are
you see,
more
not
millenn-
working and you forcing it to happen may cause problems.
for all you know,
You see.
just
What is
for
wrong with
just for
causing
your information, just for your information, all the instantaneousness that you are enjoying right now, the fast food, the fast ride, all of them were built by millennials. Where do you think the thought came from? Do you think they don't want to be forward moving? You guys think you are the only ones who want the best things in life, but the best things in life that you're enjoying now were created by millennials. Where do you think they got the ideas from?
Systematically and procedurally.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I know a Gen Z who didn't want to be called after 5. I mean, he was very upset about it.
Yeah.
Very upset. He said, no, how can they call me? I mean, so I was trying to explain that maybe there's something that only you can explain, right? So I explained to him that picking the call does not mean that you are going to work, right? Sometimes you need to pick and hear what the person has to say. Then you can say, okay, I've heard, maybe where I am now, I can't do it. So can you give me till morning or something? He kept pushing back. So I told him that, look, from my experience, if you want to progress within an organization, especially like here, you have to start beginning to behave like the people who are leading.
But now let's look at how we tie all this together. So we're saying that Gen Zs want things the fast way. Millennials like to follow procedures. Now, how do we merge all these together to bridge the gap and make the workplace more efficient? So we're leveraging the fast-paced nature of Gen Zs and we're leveraging the millennials' love for procedures. How do we merge all this together to make the workplace more innovative and enjoyable to work?
Okay. For me, in spite of our differences, what I would say is there should be respect for each other. And we should
This respect thing.
we should accept the uniqueness
Of each
of
generation.
each generation.
Like in
Yeah.
marriage, eh?
You see?
Correct.
I'm not married, but I
millennials
know.
do not want
No.
to accept
It's
the-
it's a bragging
They don't
thing
want
that
to.
you see. But what I'm trying to say is that we should have that kind of appreciation that they the Gen Zs will never be millennials, and we will never be Gen Zs.
We don't
So
want to
we should accept ourselves and respect ourselves. Because if we don't do that, then, in fact, my greatest worry is not even that traditional generational part, but the company-made generational gaps. Like, I came here, for me, for example, I transitioned with SMSGH, and you are coming in Hubtel. So that kind of silent generation is my worry. That we were here before you came, and what do you know about this? Do you know when we started sending money? When we were doing this, where you are? So
That's MBA, by the way.
we have here. So that is a sort of. But if we have respect for each other and know that this Gen Z person coming on board come with some uniqueness, some fresh ideas to help make the work better, then the Gen Z also understands that this man has some institutional knowledge or experience that I have to tap in. I think we should be fine to go, so that everybody will feel comfortable working.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree. I think that the Gen Zs are coming in with fresh ideas and moving fast and like doing things
Over speeding, more likely.
in more unconventional ways, right? And I think that, like Abiku was saying, they can learn a lot from millennials in terms of like procedures, doing things in a certain way. But in doing that too, you have to make sure that you're not like lagging things behind too much, right? I think that finding a balance is important.
I was watching a podcast / YouTube, and then they invited this woman. She was talking about how the pandemic has changed. I know it's 5 years now, but we are still talking about it. So she said that her daughter completed the uni in 2021, just a year after the COVID, and she got a job. And the first job her daughter got was a fully remote job, like a work from home job. That was the first job. In subsequent times, her daughter has worked work from home jobs. So with that kind of child, or with that kind of Gen Z, all they know is work from home. They've never worked the traditional going to the office and coming back. So what I'm trying to say is that because they are really good, because they've been working from home for a long time, they really know how to manage their time?
Go ahead. You can borrow my words. You're allowed to.
They really know how to manage their time, as opposed to when they come to the office. You know, that's why they always fight for, let's work from home because I'm more productive at home and all of that. So that's it.
Okay, I think that we've had a very interesting conversation, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Right.
Most definitely.
I
There was
think
some fire,
we've
but
had-
it's fine.
So the next segment is going to be more fun, more relaxed, right? It's not relaxed, but don't relax too much because you don't want to be a loser. So I'm gonna ask a couple of questions. I have a couple of questions in my hand. I'm gonna ask, and you have to be really fast. When I say the question, then you answer really fast. You have 1 second to answer the question. Yeah, so let's go. The first one is, which generation was the first to normalize working remotely as a mainstream?
Millennium.
Gen X.
You got it.
Oh, I said millennium.
Gen X, they cancelled their BC 2 times. Gen X.
No, but this one was Pascal because she had mentioned it earlier. You know.
Okay. The second one is, what does CC stand for in emails?
Carbon copy.
My millennial gossip. Okay, the other one is, which generation prefers voice notes over text messages?
Gen Z.
Abiku said it.
I said Gen Z.
Abiku said it.
I said Gen, you said Z.
I said Gen Z.
Look at me too.
Next question, are we ready?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Which generation introduced the term work-life balance into mainstream?
Millennial.
No.
Gen
Z.
X.
Yes.
Hey, how did Gen X
If it's not
introduce
millennial, if it's not Gen Z, Gen X.
Okay. Now this one is a true or false. Millennials are the first generation to actively reject traditional 9-to-5 jobs. True. Abiku said it first. What was the most common reason Gen X stayed at the same company for decades?
Loyalty.
No.
Lack of
Job stability.
Yes.
It
Yes.
was coming.
He said Gen X, he will know.
Can somebody
Okay. Now this one. Which generation coined the term TGIF in work culture?
Millennials.
Gen X.
It's true. Hey, but Gen X, you're not old like that.
Okay.
Let everyone.
Okay, this question will keep quiet 3 seconds. You give me 3 seconds to answer.
So that
Also, we'll give you 3 questions to answer. 3 seconds. 3 seconds.
Okay. If a Gen Zer says, I just got a WFH gig, what does WFH mean?
3 seconds. 1.
Work from home.
Oh, is that the... You see? Hey. Oh.
Would you have got it?
My mind was.
Okay. What's the
So let me
generational...
say I'm the supporter here.
Don't give
I'm
up.
supporting people.
Also, don't give up.
What's the generational equivalent of a coffee break for Gen Z?
Should we wait?
Wait. Generational equivalent of what?
Of
Coffee
a
break.
coffee
Coffee
break
break.
for Gen Z. So instead of coffee break, what do Gen Zs do?
Social media break.
Yeah, you got it.
I thought we were waiting for
Wow.
you. So that's why I kept quiet. So
We waited.
I mean,
Now, the last one you didn't wait.
I hold in my hands the
Obi
result.
the also the
The result of our just ended session. Yes,
But
actually.
You can start from Isaac.
So I hold in my hands. I hold in my hands the results of the session. Coming in last place
oh,
is our beloved millennial Isaac with 0 points, not even a single thing. Coming in last but 1 place is our beloved Gen X
Ooh,
Alex.
ooh. Nice one.
with 2
At
points.
least he wasn't last.
But last
Because we
but
are
1.
two.
It is better
millennial,
than
one
also
is
also
no, no,
also
no.
also
One is
as-
do we even have 2 millennials
It's
here?
third, not last. But
Now coming in 2nd place, we have our ever passionate Gen Z president, Abeku.
Mm,
So you can.
And,
You are a hater. You are a hater. Gloria, you are a hater.
I've
and
clapped for
coming
you.
in first, we have Gloria with 4 points.
Ooh.
Okay, that was fun.
Very
I think
fun.
keep up with
Sure.
it. Okay, that was really
that
fun.
was the blend we're talking, so I'll see the Gen Z.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Of course,
Exactly.
yeah.
Let's
Also, you
adapt.
don't have to see Jess. Come and see.
I'll come and see you, President.
President. My
So
dear
I
people.
think that we've had a really exciting conversation today. I think that when it comes down to it, the crux of the matter is that we should all learn to adapt to each other. So we should recognize that Gen Zs are coming in with innovation and fast pace in everything that they do. Gen Xs are coming in with their experience, and the millennials are coming in with adaptability, right? So at the end of the day, we have to recognize each other's different characteristics and understand each other, accommodate our differences. That way we can work together and leverage on each other's strengths and also help each other to grow in areas where we're lacking growth. So please let us know what you think in the comments. What do you think? Do you think Gen Zs are stuck up and are too rapid and want things very fast, or you think that we should learn to, slow down? Let us know. Give us all the tea in the comments, and please subscribe, share with your friends, share with the Gen X at work who is always bothering you that Gen Z, why you always doing this? Please share it with them and tell them that they should learn from this podcast. And yes, we hope to see you on another episode of Hubtel Podcast.
Bye.
See you next time.
Bye.